Talking about practice, welcome back to the Barely Ballers podcast, lockdown edition. Auckland and Sydney representing. We got Alex in the building. What's going on, man?
Yep, fuck, love a lockdown, eh? Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
I thought I took the lockdowns everywhere where I went, but turns out that I left a little bit there back for you. So you coping all right? I know you're a bit of a recluse anyway, lad, so nothing really changes.
Oh, I fucking sold my Xbox on like the Sunday. So I went to your parents' house for dinner on Sunday as well, and we started talking about how there's never going to be another level 4 lockdown. That was good. But yeah, I sold my Xbox on either the Saturday or Sunday, so that was good.
Yeah. Rookie mistake. Yeah, no, well, like I said, we're entering, I think, month 3 or 4 of our 2-week lockdown. So get in line, kid. But this is Barely Ballers podcast. We've got a lot to get through, so we're not going to fuck around. Our favorite sport in the world, the NFL, is back. Me and Alex did our little $1,000 draft last yesterday. So more to come on that. But let's start off the top. Number one's topic right now. We got the old, quarterback controversy, quarterback race in New England. Is it going to be Cam? Is it going to be Mac Jones? I'm going to start us off here because I think it's a ridiculous topic at the moment. Bill Belichick has never been one to mince words. He's come out and said Cam's the starter. So for me, that's it. Cam's the starter.
Yeah, absolutely.
He played last year. He got hurt. I thought he played well last year until he got hurt. He looks way more, even just in the preseason reps, he looks way more comfortable. He's sliding in the pocket again. He's making the throws. The N'Keal Harry injury does hurt them because, I was one of those ones who was big on N'Keal Harry in his rookie year, and it could not have gone worse. He was awful.
Yeah.
But he was starting to look pretty nice. So no structural damage to the shoulder against Philly. So he'll be back. But Cam was, in their last preseason game, 8 of 9 or 9 of 10 with a touchdown, 100 yards, a couple of nice first down scrambles. Cam Newton's the starter there. So Mac Jones is going to be the future quarterback. I'm not denying that. But all this talk about Mac Jones starting this season or coming in week 4 or 5, I think Cam's a starter. I think he leads them to a 10 or 11 win season. I think they're going to be that good. And unless an injury, I don't think we see Mac Jones this year. So for me, the whole Mac Jones, Cam Newton quarterback race, I don't think it's a race. I think it's just Mac Jones competing to learn more. He's a backup for me, and I think he's going to be a backup for the next year or two.
Yeah, I definitely think Cam Newton starts the season. I think that's sort of unquestionable because Bill Belichick won't want to put Mac Jones in too quick either and kind of, fuck him up like a lot of sort of young quarterbacks that it happens to them. Yeah, whether you'll see him this year will be interesting. The only scenario I think that you see Mac Jones this year is if the Patriots are going really well, but Cam Newton's losing them games. If the Patriots are going well and they're winning and Cam Newton's playing decently, I don't see why you'd put him in. But also if the Patriots are just fucking shit and they're losing and they're getting smoked, I don't see why you'd want to put a young quarterback into that either. So the only way that I can see Mac Jones getting any game time this season are, well, obviously, 1, just absolute blowouts, or 2, the Patriots are playing really well, but on these game-winning drives, Cam Newton's throwing interceptions half the time or something like that, or just not getting it done.
Yeah. So I think the Cam Newton hate, and I was kind of one of the, we mentioned off the top when we did our picks last episode in terms of our AFC and NFC pick, there's a woman working out in the apartment across there, and she's doing jumping like squats, and I just keep seeing her back and head pop up, so it's very distracting. But let me lock it on Cam Newton. We both said that we were off Cam, but I think people probably took that the wrong way. When we say we're off him, we mean we don't think the Patriots are going to win a Super Bowl and Cam's going to be the MVP. He's still a very good quarterback. He can still do some things in the league. I just think the whole Mac Jones narrative is being pushed by people based off of last year. Cam played last year with COVID, literally had it. He played with 0 weapons. N'Keal Harry was still awful. He didn't have this little tight end quartet, but also they had no defense. They had, 9 starters on defense that didn't turn up because of COVID.
Yeah. A lot of people opted out for the Patriots last year.
So if the Patriots get back they have got back all their stars and the defense is solid, I think Cam's a good enough quarterback to win you games, because then he's not going to be chasing points like last year. A lot of his intercepts last year, they were down 10, down 14, down 21, and he was trying to push the ball downfield to guys who couldn't catch the fucking thing. Now he's going to be playing, he's got a good defense that can defend the lead. He's got a good defense that can stem the flow of points. I think they're going to be a top 5 defense in the league. And I think Cam's good enough to get them. That's why I put the number at 10, sort of 10 and a half, 11 wins. I think he's good enough with a very good defense, which they haven't had last year, to steer them in the right direction. And that reason, I just don't think we see Mac Jones.
Yeah, it pains me to say it, but at the start of that, you said, I think Cam Newton's a very good quarterback. It pains me to say it. I put him in the average category now. I put him as an average starting QB, and I love Cam Newton, but I mean, to be fair, he's never had weapons, even at the Panthers. Like he had Steve Smith for a little bit, and then Calvin Benjamin was meant to be great, and he was kind of average, but he's never really had weapons, but he's also never been that accurate a passer. It's always been his athletic ability as well. So
playing with a good defense and he's not having to chase points, you're going to see the best version of Cam in a long time.
I hope so. Again, I'm rooting for Cam. I want him to do well, but I think average. I think around the 8 to 9 win season. I don't think they make the playoffs this year.
There we go. All right. Well, let's jump down. We've spoke about one rookie quarterback. Obviously, they're the big, exciting, new, sexy toy in the league. Rookie of the year is where I wanted to go with this one. I'm going to start us off here because, look, I am sick of people overreacting to preseason football, but it's all we have to go off. So that's all we're going to talk about. Obviously, Fields looked very good. So did Wilson. Trevor and Mac Jones, probably not so much in terms of what we've seen already. Clearly, Fields is on the best team. Can we agree on that out of those rookie quarterbacks, excluding Joe Burrow, because they're obviously year 2?
Yeah, I would say Trey Lance, but again, I don't think Trey Lance is going to get that much playing time. So yeah, I would go Justin Fields' best team.
Right, agree. Well, let's just say that for argument's sake. So maybe apart from the quarterback we just mentioned, maybe Mac Jones is on the better team, but I think that's Cam's job. But so Trevor's going to struggle. Trevor Lawrence, like all rookie quarterbacks do,
because they cut Tim Tebow.
Because they cut his number one all-star.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate that this actually, before I get to my pick, it's unfortunate that this is a quarterback award because I think you're going to see this wide receiver class fucking explode. Like, I think Devonta Adams is going to be special. You watch that skinny boy work down there. I think he's going to fucking kill it. But Trevor will get it right. I think he's probably going to make the big plays. He'll jag 6, 7, 8 wins with a team he probably shouldn't jag 6, 7, 8 wins. So he's going to win the award for me. Fields will start the season off hotter. And we're going to be on here probably talking about how he's going to win Rookie of the Year. I think when it's all said and done in that last regular season games played, I think anyone who's worth their fucking salt and knows football is going to look at it and go, hey, let's be honest here. Trevor Lawrence was clearly the best player, working with the least. He got the most wins because I think the Bears are going to struggle. I think Trevor Lawrence is going to win Rookie of the Year, which I know is not a hot topic because he's probably the favorite. But just off the back of all this buzz around Fields and Wilson, I know like Justin is all on Zach Wilson now. He ain't throwing. I love me the Jets.
Get off it.
You know the Jets are my team. He ain't throwing to no one. So I'm going to go Trevor Lawrence.
I mean, the real easy pick is Trevor Lawrence. 6 or 7 wins, I think, is a bit much. I think it's 3 or 4. I think, the Jags win 3 or 4. I think 5 would be an amazing season for them. The thing.
Sorry to interrupt. Did Joe Burrow win it last year?
No, he got injured for most of it. Remember, he tore his ACL. Who did win Rookie of the Year? I can't even remember. Was it Herbert?
I honestly have no idea.
Maybe. But yeah, no, that's the thing with this award, unlike a lot of other awards, is you don't have to be in a winning team to win Rookie of the Year because they generally expect them to not.
Yeah.
But it is kind of interesting because
it was Chase Young, by the way, FYI.
Oh, Chase Young run. Oh yeah.
Well, it's not a quarterback. There you go.
Yeah, so that's what I was going to say is generally just like the MVP, generally quarterbacks will win this award, but because Trevor Lawrence is on such a bad team, it might be really hard for him to actually get something going. Justin Fields does look good, and he is on a decent team. I still make nothing of preseason NFL. I think it's less than meaningless. And then again, Zach Wilson's on the Jets, so that's not going to happen. So for all those reasons, I do think that Jamar Chase is quite a good pick for that, especially if he's paying a decent amount. I don't know. Just a wide receiver, if he gets over 1,000 yards, around 10 touchdowns, I think that's enough to outdo a 3,000 to 3,500 yard season by Trevor Lawrence. And they'll be on a winning team as well, which I know just said that they don't take into account, but it does help slightly. So I'm gonna go a little bit smoky here and go Jamar Chase for Rookie of the Year.
I like that. I want to argue with you. I hope you're right, because I'm not a fan of it always just going to a quarterback. But I think out of everyone picked, I think the number one pick, I think Trevor Lawrence is generational. And like I said, to me, it's Andrew Luck 2.0. I think he's going to have an amazing career.
Ooh,
unfortunately,
cool.
It's not like Andrew Luck fucking did anything. He was good for a while. So
Tom Brady didn't deflate the balls. He would have won a Super Bowl.
All right, let's jump across. So we're also going to give here our slept on NFC and AFC picks. So obviously Packers, Bucks, Chiefs, they're going to be the red hot favorites. We know that, but I've asked Alex to come up with his sleepers for each division. I'm going to go off the top. We're going to start in the NFC. My sleeper pick I'm going the LA Rams.
Yeah, we'll see. So this is the thing. So before you, oh no, actually, I'll let you finish. Then I'll go. You go.
Yeah, okay.
You go.
Well, look, I've been saying this for a minute that I think this is the toughest, or at least going to be the most tightly contested division in the NFL this year. I think Stafford, McVay, and the Rams are going to prove a lot of people wrong. I think they're going to prove why this side made the Super Bowl 2 years ago, and they did it with fucking Jared Goff. I know they've since lost Todd Gurley, who's now no longer Todd Gurley, all that, but they've still got Aaron Donald. They've still got elite wide receivers. You know, I love me a white boy in the slot. I love me Cooper Kupp.
Cooper Kupp.
I know the line's somewhat back intact. They did lose a couple of key pieces, but they tried to rebuild through the draft. So that's going to be obviously a big. We're going to know a lot about the Rams, I think, after the first month of football, whether or not they're going to be legit, because they got a pretty tough draw. But the most importantly, they've upgraded at quarterback. So I know Stafford's your guy. I don't think he's elite by any means, but I think there's
not anymore.
No, I think and that's just an age thing. It's not like you've seen this big drop off from Stafford. He's been doing it for so long. I think he's good enough, I believe, to win a Super Bowl. So at least I think he's at least good enough to get this current team to the NFC Championship game. So for me, that's what a smoky is. It's a team that probably not a lot of people are going to pick. A team that if everything goes right, you can see them getting to a Super Bowl, and I genuinely can if all the pieces fall into place. So my smoky in the NFC is the LA Rams.
Yeah, so I agree with you there in terms of if you take the quarterback off every team, the LA Rams are a really good team. And I don't think Matt Stafford is bad enough that he will make you be worse than you should be. I actually think he's better than that. I think he can elevate you a little bit. This is what I mean when you started talking is I don't like when you said pick your smoky. I thought of the Rams, but I don't know if they're that much of a smoky. I think quite a lot of people are quite high on them. And then so my smoky.
You're going to like my AFC pick then because it's smoky.
My smoky for this was the Seahawks, but then again, I don't know how much of a smoky that is. I know they're not favorites or anything like that. But I
can tell you they're a massive smoky because as long as you've rode Russell Wilson's nuts, they're not a very good team anymore, man. They're just
they are. Well, okay. Well, I'm going with the Seattle Seahawks then. I think DK Metcalf is better and bigger somehow this season. I think he finds a few more anabolic stuff in his diet.
Yeah.
And no, I've always been a big believer in Russell Wilson. I think I don't want to say fix the defense. I think the defense gets better because they were embarrassing to watch last year, especially against the run.
Do you know how many career interceptions Jamal Adams has?
No.
If you had to guess. Best highest paid safety in the game.
Well, now that you're asking in that way, I'm going to say like 4.
Yeah, I actually think it's bang on 4.
Yeah. I don't know. It was more the.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt you. He's the highest paid safety in the NFL, and he has 2 career interceptions. Carry on.
Yeah, that's all you need. I know. It was more their linebacking.
I think I saw something like Ndamukong Suh has 3 or something. So.
Yeah, but his first name's Ndamukong. That's what I'm going to name my son. I don't know. I just big believer in Russell Wilson. I think he's a winner. I think Pete Carroll's still a really good coach. I think that a little bit of the mystique has definitely worn off of what they used to be in what was like 13 to 15, something like that. But no, I like the Seahawks as a little bit of a smoky.
Yeah, and just disclaimer, obviously he's a former Jet. I love Jamal Adams. He's one of my favorite defensive players. But the reality is all he does is bang blokes. He doesn't change games.
Now the Cam Chancellor.
Yeah, he basically just lays people out back there. And at this current NFL, all he does is get flags. But anyway, highest paid safety, congrats. Big fan of the show, Jamal Adams too. All right, let's jump across to the sleeper in the AFC. So I've gone very, very smoky here. So much smoke, it's like a Sydney bushfire up in this bitch.
All right, well let me go first. Let's end with your smoky then. Let me go first on my AFC smoky. So again, I don't actually know how much of a smoke. I can go smokier if you want, but for this I've gone the Browns.
No, that's very smoky. Okay.
Yeah. Again, Odell's back. I do think that he's going to fit into the role a little bit more. I've heard a few people make a few good points about saying like he was frustrated before because he wasn't getting the ball and they were losing. He got injured. They started doing better. They're winning now. I think he's far enough in his career, kind of like Russell Westbrook, where he's like, okay, I'll sacrifice a little bit to actually win now because I'm so great. And if I end up without a championship, that, I'm going to look back at that and see that as the massive failure. So I definitely think the Browns, again, one of the better defenses, Jarvis Landry, I'm really high on Njoku, even though he hasn't blossomed. I think he hopefully have a breakout year, and then obviously Beckham and Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. I think their fucking offense is just loaded.
They're loaded, and they've got obviously on the defensive side of the ball, Myles Garrett, Denzel Ward. They've got really
yeah.
nice. So
and although I'm not a big believer in Baker, I did see a stat the other day saying so Baker came into a team that went 1-31 in the last 2 years, and then he won them more games in the next year, and he's had 4 head coaches in the time he's been there as well. Like he might not be as bad as I think he is. So
I tried telling you about Baker, but again, I'm wrong on so many quarterbacks that I can't gloat. It means nothing. The fact I hit on Baker, I've missed on every other quarterback. So I thought Taysom Hill was the MVP smoky. So I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, no, I like it. I think I disagree with the Odell point completely. However, I don't see whatever maturity you think you're seeing. I think he's out this year to play.
He texts me.
I think he's going to play. I think he's out this year playing for a contract. I think he's going to demand the ball. I think there's going to be frictions. I think the Browns are going to be a storyline all year about Odell's not happy, Jarvis isn't happy, Baker's not happy, boom, boom. They're going to scratch and claw their way to 10 wins. They'll jag a wild card spot. They'll get kicked out in the first round, and Odell will sign back for the Giants or someone else on a mega deal. So that's what I think. But I like the smoky pick. Now, my AFC sleeper.
If you say the Jets, I'm fucking leaving this podcast forever.
I'm in that division. I'm going to go the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, that's who I was going to go if you said the Browns weren't smoky enough.
So I think this is slightly smokier, which
definitely.
That could be our new merch. Could be the smokier tees. I think we need to. Well, I think the world needs to stop the Tua disrespect. I've had enough of it. Banged up, fresh off hip surgery. He was good without being great last year. I didn't see anything that made me want to jump off the Tua train, but apparently I'm the only cunt left on it. So I'm
100% with you on this. People talking trade Tua and all of this shit for Deshaun Watson when he was going through a shit. I thought it was fucking crazy, to be honest.
I think it's out of its fucking mind. So before Trevor Lawrence, we got to remember, tank for Tua was a real thing. Like this was one of the best pure quarterback prospects I've ever seen in college. Like obviously I haven't been watching the game, since we talk back to the sort of Peyton Manning era. But when you start looking at the Andrew Luck, Cam Newton, RG3,
he was in. Oh, I wouldn't put RG3 in that category, but he was in the Cam Newton, Andrew Luck. Tua was in the Andrew Luck, Cam Newton stuff.
Top echelon, same as Trevor Lawrence and those sort of discussions. So I think he's going to go to another level this year, healthy. I think he's got 3 elite fucking wide receiver weapons, and Waddle, who's obviously a rookie but fast as fuck.
Yeah, so sorry, actually, Jamar Chase and Jalen Waddle, those are my 2 rookie of the year picks because Waddle's got Tua throwing to him.
Waddle's going to be special. I think I've always liked Will Fuller the 5th. He's out of Oregon, fast as fuck. I know it didn't really pop for him when he was at the Texans, but I think he's a very nice player. And obviously, Jakeem Grant's as reliable as they fucking come. So the defense is ascending. They're well coached. They're in a winnable division, depending on sort of what Cam and that do. But I think Tua, and this is, I'm going to go even slightly smokier here. I think Tua is there's so much smoke I can barely see right now. A big MVP smoky too. I'm super high.
I'm going to have to fucking stop listening there.
The Dolphins are my AFC sleeper. I think they're going to have a very good year. And Tua is my deep MVP smoky as well.
Okay, so I do like the smokiness, and like I said, I was if the Browns were a little bit too favorites, Miami was my next one. But you said you think they're a decent chance to win the division. You also just said that you think the Patriots are going to win 10 to 11 games. How many games do you think the Bills are winning this season?
Oh, cool. I think they dropped way down. I told you that yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
You think I thought you fucking loved Allen and Stephon Diggs. Do you think they completely drop off?
Stephon Diggs is my favorite wide receiver, but I think the Bills. Everyone keeps on talking about these Bills getting better and better and better, and Josh Allen getting better and better and better. All I see, and I told you this 2 years ago, I see the defense every year going slightly worse, slightly worse, slightly worse. Whereas Miami as a unit are getting better. And I think Josh Allen's ceiling versus Tua's ceiling, I think Tua can break through that bitch. So,
yeah, I agree with you there. So you think the Bills don't make the playoffs?
No, I don't. I don't have to make the playoffs. That's why we did.
Oh, good. I took them with my second pick yesterday. I could have fucking left them for a while.
You could have left them to the end. I would have taken the fucking Jets before them. I'm probably wrong. Like I know it's not the popular pick. This is why we call them Smokies. But I think there's 2 teams in that division that are going to be better than the Bills this year.
I would say no. I disagree with that. I think the Bills win the division. I think the Dolphins do better than the Patriots, though.
I think we've just discovered another very hotly contested division, which I didn't think we were going to discover. But whatever it is, the AFC East, West, South, North, I don't know what the fuck it is. But
what is it? The East, yeah. The East, yeah.
All right, sweet. Well, that's a bit of footy chat. Let's quickly jump for a bit of hoops chat before we wrap up. Obviously, the big storyline, LeBron James has got 0 votes as the best player. I want to pose it to you first before I go. Fair or unfair, LeBron James getting 0 votes?
I don't think it's that big a deal, to be honest. So this isn't the MVP race. It's not like, so for the MVP votes, you get a first place vote worth, like, let's say 5 points, a second place vote worth 3, and a third place vote for 1 point. So every single reporter or voter gets that. This is just, Jackson, who do you think is the best? One guy, done. Alex, who do you think's the best? One guy, done. So that's why I don't think it's that big a deal, because he got bounced out in the first round. He had another injury, and I'm a big LeBron fan as well. I'm not fucking the scope on this. He got bounced out of the first round. He had another big injury. He didn't go 7 games with the Suns, and with Giannis winning if the Bucks don't win it, Giannis doesn't get any votes. But with the Bucks winning the championship and KD's not only winning but staying healthy was the big thing. I didn't think KD was going to stay healthy all year. I think the point of picking LeBron with the first overall pick is gone. I would still hum and ha between him and Giannis, but I think KD is ahead of everyone. So that's why I don't think it's that big a deal, because it was what I saw was mainly KD and Giannis shared the votes.
Yeah, no, completely fair for me. For me, it's KD. So, and I think this is my thing. I think it's KD for most people. So I think everyone's right to vote for him in that sense. So when Steph won the unanimous MVP, and you had people crying out like, how did LeBron not get one single first place vote, or how did Russ not get one, Harden, AD, etc. I was like, well, hang on, who was the best? Like, gun to your head. And they go,
yeah, absolutely.
Well, that's why LeBron got none. So, like, were they better than Steph that year? No. So you don't give a sympathy first place vote to Russell Westbrook. It doesn't make sense. So LeBron is, and I've said this many times before, I know people say I don't know what I'm talking about. To me, LeBron's the greatest player of all time. That's just to me.
Yeah.
I didn't watch Michael Jordan. Shut the fuck up. I watched The Last Dance. He looks really, really cool. Like, to me, I was born in '93, man. LeBron's the greatest player of all time for me. Right now, today, he's the second best. So he gets no votes.
But it's also... It was the question was also, who do you think's going to be the best player next season? So that's the thing for me. The last 2 years, LeBron's come off and he's had injuries, and the year before that, he had a big one, which is when he had the fucking Lonzo Ball Lakers, and they were sitting 4th, and then they dropped out. So that's what I mean. KD stayed healthy. That's what I thought was really, really important for that vote, and him sort of getting ahead of LeBron for this. LeBron, you can't, for the first time in his career, you can't say, I can't see him getting injured, because he's been bulletproof up until now.
Yeah, no, I agree. Right now, it's pretty simple. Right now, for me, today, he's the second best player in the NBA. So that means you get 1 vote, he doesn't get any. All it means to me is that everyone they asked is really smart and knows basketball. So you don't have any fucking idiots. That's all it says to me.
Yeah.
And saying that, he's probably going to come out and win MVP and win the whole championship.
Yeah, probably. Maybe.
Just because he's going to fuck us around.
Tough to win MVP with AD and Westbrook on your team, but...
Well, yeah, you're not going to get any fucking rebounds, that's for sure. All right, we'll wrap it up there. Barely Ballers is back, baby. Next week, we're going to have a lot more NFL to talk about, bit of UFC too, and hopefully Alex is dead by then, so we'll be back.
Fuck off.